In this problem, we are trying to determine if x minus 4 is a factor of this function. So basically, the fastest way to do this is to graph f of x in y equals and look at the table. There's a general rule that says that if x minus a is a factor, then the function evaluated at positive a will equal 0. So in our table, we're going to look at an x value of 4, and we're hoping to see that the function's value is 0. For f of x, this is true, so we know that x minus 4 is a factor of f of x. This problem tells us that we need to explain our answer, so we're just going to write a sentence showing this. So you can write, I graphed f of x in y equals and looked at the table. When x equals 4, f of x equals 0. And that's a sufficient explanation. Now we're going to look at a second way to do this problem. Let's say you didn't realize that you could just look in the table to answer this problem. A lot of people probably did this problem in the following way. To see if something is a factor, we can use division to see if the x minus 4 goes evenly into f of x. So we set up polynomial long division. And the first question we're going to be asking is how many times does x go into 2x cubed? If you want to write division on the side to figure this out, we can. So if I do 2x cubed divided by x, I get 2x squared. And that's what I'm going to write above this division sign. Our next step is to multiply this binomial by 2x squared and write it below the function. So I get 2x cubed minus 8x squared. From here, I need to distribute my negative and subtract both parts. That cancels out the 2x cubed, which was my goal. And then negative 5 minus negative 8 is negative 5 plus 8, which will give me 3x squared. From there, I bring down the 11x, and I start the process over again. So now I'm asking how many times does x go into 3x squared? We could do division on the side, and we would get a positive 3x. So we write that at the top, multiply the 3x by the x minus 4, and write it below, giving us 3x squared minus 12x. Subtract and distribute. Negative 11 minus negative 12 is 1x. Bring down the negative 4. So now x minus 4 basically goes into x minus 4 one time, or we could say x goes into x one time. And then we're going to multiply again. And we see that the remainder is 0. So for an explanation, we can write when f of x is divided by x minus 4, the remainder is 0. Another way to say this is that it divides evenly into f of x. Either way is fine.